Episode 231, Slappin Podcast. Got my guy on the pod, Jesse Janisch. What's good, man?
How's it going, guys? I
It's
guess
been
not guys, just me and you.
yeah. Well, everybody listening, guys and girls. Nah, not much, man. Just in Florida, where you used to live. I used to have people to hang out with. Now the herd has slimmed down a little bit, bro. Do you miss Florida at all?
I miss like the winter months. Florida was weird because obviously once I was kind of done racing full time, it was a lot harder to like enjoy it for me. Because I was just going to work and that was it. So it was you just lose the free time, right? So, uh, Florida was a blast in 2020, 2021, 2022. Getting to train with everybody, and then obviously the racing thing. But the one thing I noticed as soon as the racing stopped was like everybody kept going racing and I wasn't. So it got really boring pretty quick there, and then obviously I got hurt. Um, and then yeah, it was just I don't know, like it became like I called it Groundhog's Day. Every day was the same, kind of going to my at the time, my unenjoyable job and then coming home and it's just hot and it was always raining, in the
Yeah.
summertime. Just getting rained on all the time and yeah, just without the ability at the time to ride like motorcycles at all, it just lacked a lot of enjoyment for me. So the winter months were always good. Obviously, you guys come down and getting to see a bunch of people, but even the one winter I was there, it was still tough. Like obviously I got to ride with you at Callahan, and hang out with crews a little bit. Like we went to that one FTR race for off road. But like outside of that, I didn't really get to get out and do much. It was obviously fun going with you and Trent and the guys for like Jimmy Hulas and whatnot. But outside of that, it's just like, man, work took up so much time because I had pretty weird jobs there where I was working kind of weird hours. So it was just tough. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's really cool in the winter. Everybody's down here and there's tons of stuff to do, man. It's like I'm exhausted because there's always something to do, man. If you're not riding moto, you can go ride flat track. I've been taking crews to the go-kart tracks. We've been doing some drills at the local Harley shop. Terry Reimer got us hooked up to do some circle drills in that parking lot up there and mountain biking, running, road cycling, like everybody's doing something and there's always something to do, man. It's cool, but you don't really have any days where you're just kind of posted up, relaxing, anything like for me anyway. Yeah, I need to take some days where I'm just chilling. There's just always something to do. And the weather's been it's been really cold down here for like the first month. It was kind of brutal, but the last few weeks it's been nice, man. So we just been on the grind and it's more exhausting taking crews to ride than it was like when I rode for some reason. I don't know, maybe mentally exhausting, but you'll be happy to know that he's turned his thoughts around on PAX. He actually likes PAX now. For like years, I couldn't get him to like PAX, and now he'll ask me to go to PAX, which it's pretty cool. Like, because it's close. It's 20 minutes away. Like we were bypassing PAX to drive 2 hours to Bostwick or other tracks, and now we can go to PAX. So
He's only like a year or two away from the vet track.
he's on the vet track now.
Oh, no, shoot,
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
why he
fast
likes
time
it.
flies.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, time.
he won't even think about the kids track. Like he gets around pretty good on the vet track. He's not going to be the next Ken. He asked me yesterday. He's like, "Dad," he's like, "I don't know if I want to road race as much as I want to ride moto." He's like, "I want to ride moto." He's like, "Hayden Deegan makes a lot of money." I'm like, "Bro, Hayden Deegan is really good at what he
101.
does." So I told him, well, because a couple of the jumps, he'll do a couple of the jumps, but some of the big ones he won't even think about doing. I'm like, Cruz, if you're gonna make a career in moto, you need to be doing every jump on the track right now. I was like, the kids your age that are winning Loretta's are doing all these jumps. He's like, no, I'm like, bro, I promise you. So, um, yeah, so I don't think we're doing Loretta's anytime, but he is riding moto at PAX, so small gains will we will take it. What is your job now, man? I remember Florida. You said a bunch of different jobs. You were working at Amazon. You were working at the Harley shop, a couple Harley shops. You were doing selling like used parts. I remember for a while on eBay.
Yep.
Um, and this is while you're winning Production Twins main events championships. It's pretty crazy actually. And you've never been afraid to kind of be a blue collar guy and go to work. So what's your job now? I know for people listening, you're back home in Wisconsin, and yeah, you've been working the real job recently.
Yeah. Well, for the record, production twins. When I was winning, I racing was my only job, luckily with Vance and Hines. But yeah, after that, dabbled with definitely quite a few different places in Florida, just trying to find something that I really enjoyed. Um, when we moved back to Wisconsin, we went to a small town called Fort Atkinson. It's kind of near Madison, I guess. But I got really, really good opportunity with Parts Unlimited. So had like, for example, you mentioned Terry Reimer. He kind of helped me get my foot in the door and get an interview with Paul Devine, who's our VP of Sales. And it's really an awesome company to work for. I mean, we support the sport is basically the quote or the branding of the company, and it's the truth. We get to do everything in motorsports, which it's like I've kind of laughed. I have all this useless information I've said that I've gathered for like my entire life of like growing up in this industry, and I've never had a use for it outside of casual conversation. And now I like have it as a job. So specifically at Parts Unlimited, I am the Michelin brand manager. Um, to make it less boring, basically, I just travel with our representatives in the company, our sales reps, and I chat with those guys, and I kind of like not educate them, I guess, to an extent, but bring them up to speed on like anything new with Michelin. And then we visit dealerships, and it's the same thing at the dealerships. So basically, just trying to make sure that my brand is being seen in the dealership, spoken about, and like letting the guys know about any information that's coming up, stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. I get to, talk the industry essentially every single day. And it's like when you're going racing, it's like you're living out what you'd want to be doing anyways. And it's really cool that I get to continue doing that now. So I mean, every day I go to work, I get to talk about motorcycles and racing, honestly, because everybody pays attention to it. Every day in the office, we've got MotoGP up on the big screen. I mean, it's obviously all replays at the moment, but literally I can stand up, turn around, and watch MotoGP. So it's a really, really awesome company with just like really good people that are just, yeah, just good people. I mean, very in depth with the industry with racing and obviously the sport itself. So it's good. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to hear how grateful you are too, man. I think that's a testament for a lot of kids listening is just being grateful for the opportunity to still work in the industry. And over the years you were, I would say, a glass half empty kind of guy sometimes when it comes to the sport. So hearing your perspective now and just how much you enjoy it, it's a lot cooler probably than being an Amazon truck driver, dude, right? So
Oh,
that's
that was the
crazy.
worst.
That's crazy you did that. Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, I can tell you your dogs are not scary, but most people's dogs are very scary.
Yeah, yeah. I should do it for the bit. Like I keep telling Trent, like, hey, I'm gonna go get a job at Target or Best Buy just for the Pokemon drops, and we're gonna like vlog it. And I think it'd be cool, like C-Tex, we do vlogs where C-Tex gets real jobs. I did work at Wawa when I was younger, and I worked at Kohl's, and I worked at a pizza shop called Donato's Pizza for the Ohio people listening. They like branched off into PA, so I made like subs and yeah, but I worked at Wawa. I've done some real jobs, but man, I can't see myself not like you said, all the knowledge. Like a lot of kids go to college for the knowledge. Does that rhyme? I think so. They go to college for years, and they use that information to in the workforce. But for us, we've learned a lot of stuff. Just being at the racetrack, being racers for years, and thankfully there is an industry that is useful for that. Like you said, that knowledge where once you're done racing, I mean, you can't be a complete idiot. Like how many racers are morons? You know, not trying to be mean, but probably 80% of them wouldn't be able to do what you're, 85, 90% wouldn't be able to do what
Yeah.
you're doing, even with that knowledge, because it takes discipline and some leadership. And, yeah, there's other intangibles that you can't just be a good racer. That doesn't translate over. I do want to make that known. Like, a lot of the times, these top racers get hired for jobs and it's like, dude, that guy's never done anything in the industry but race and but be good at racing. Um, so I think that's important, right? Like there are people that have that knowledge that simply wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I actually was talking to my national sales manager the other day, and I said, there's not many guys that I use the quotations, right? Successful in motorcycle racing that could build a spreadsheet on Excel like I have built here, right? Like
Yeah.
I was kind of like awkwardly a pretty nerdy dude, I guess. I worked at a couple different food factories growing up, like in my like early mid 20s, and I kind of got fortunate there. Also, just worked to a little bit higher level job there. I was a supervisor, and then I always used Excel, I guess, a little bit in high school, but like very, very bare minimum. But I was using other people's built spreadsheets and then basically figuring out what they did to accomplish their goal. And then that's basically what I did and how to learn it, right? And it's like I'm a college educate of YouTube. So
Yeah.
like it's like anything I can't figure out, I just Google. And obviously
Yeah.
now we got
Yeah.
we got AI
ChatGPT.
now,
Yeah. It's
right? Yeah,
nice.
we got AI now, like helping me try to figure out how to do like V lookups or X lookups, for example. I'm trying to do like price comparisons. It's like
Yeah.
I'm nerding out. Nobody probably even knows what a V lookup is on Excel, but
It's kind of
I use it
crazy
daily.
the error, like all the boomers will say they never used computers, right? And then our era, we used computers a lot. And I would say the kids now, a lot of them just use their cell phones for everything. So they don't, a lot of them bypassed a lot of that knowledge that still is really useful in technology and in like the modern jobs right now, I guess. I didn't think about that too much. Like, yeah, the Excel thing is crazy. Yeah, because I feel like all of us used Excel and now
Yeah.
it's in, yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. Can you see Trent
I
like
mean,
trying to make an Excel spreadsheet like that?
could could Trent spell Excel?
Yeah, yeah, he is Internet Explorer, so um, yeah, no, that's yeah. I mean, eventually, all these guys and girls like they're gonna have to find jobs once they're done racing, and I kind of had I had this question I was gonna bring up at the end, but since we've already talked about this, we're on the topic. What advice? I'm scared to ask you. What advice would you give a young kid wanting to make a career in racing in 2026? Like in this modern day, like his only goal is I want to make a career racing. I want to make money riding a motorcycle. So let's keep it broad. But what advice would you give somebody who only wants to do that looking into the next 10 years?
Um, well, out like removing myself, I guess, from like the sponsorship side, because obviously you need money. Um, but if you want to be successful, and I feel like it's something that I struggled with a lot, especially when I was young, like a lot. I probably didn't really figure it out until, like, even if you want to call it figuring it out, but like 2017 ish, 2018, I started really studying how other people ride the track. And I don't know if you want to call it swallowing your pride or whatever, or maybe for my case, just growing up, but like really diagnosing how other people ride the track and why they ride it the way they do. And I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but like I think for me, I had to like become addicted to the sport, like literally to the definition of it. Like when I wanted to beat you, for example, in 2022, or when I got the opportunity in 2021 to ride Vance and Hines, like I had to become so addicted to like making myself better in every form of the word that it was all I did. You know what I mean? Like I woke up and I literally my entire focus through the day was, training, bicycles, whatever, right? And then it wasn't just that though. I was literally doing film study. I was putting up races and watching basically guys that do things that other people don't. So the three people I typically watched were Morgan Mishler, Jared Mees, and Briar Bauman. And those three specifically because Briar is just like an absolute freak. Like the way he can use his body positioning on the bike and force the bike to always be perfectly wheels in line. He might not agree with that, but like the way he can ride like Williams Grove. You want to watch an absolute clinic on how to ride a motorcycle, it's disgusting. Like the stuff that he did there is ridiculous. And then it's like, but you watch Jared Mees, and like Jared Mees never hardly moves on the motorcycle. It's like, okay, so how can he ride so differently than Briar, for example, and still obviously make it work so good? And then like Morgan Mishler, for example, if there was a guy who never touched the brakes hardly at all for like a year straight, it was him. So like you watch, I don't remember the year, but it was Weed Sport. He started like row 4, and I think on lap 1 he was literally in second, and he led lap 2, and he won the race like easily. So it's like watching him and the way he rode the motorcycle, perfectly wheels in line, tons of roll speed, while letting off the gas earlier than most people. It's like that kind of stuff I started watching, and like literally addictive to the point of like body position, hand position, and then like trying to figure out how they're gripping the motorcycle. I mean, it was literally a disease. Like the amount of studying I did, and then obviously I studied you because I knew I was racing you. Um, it was insane. Like the amount of studying I did and trying to like understand. Obviously, you rode a Yamaha, I rode a Harley. Understanding where your bike was going to be better and how can I like manipulate mine to be better in those positions or those places, or slow you down if I had to in those places. You know what I mean? It was, yeah, my advice would be swallow your pride and grow up quick, because there's probably somebody doing it better than you, and understanding that and being okay with that, I guess. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. Obviously, growing up helps. You see it with a lot of people. The older they get, the better they get at the sport. That was definitely historically really a thing. I think nowadays it's not quite the same, but yeah, just I don't know, growing up quick, I guess, or like swallowing my pride and like really realizing that there's other people that are so much better at riding a motorcycle than you are, or I'm referring to myself in this case. I am, but and then figuring out how to do that better. I guess that would be my advice, is like never take a moment to not go watch somebody and how they're riding the track, because if you're not smoking everybody, somebody's doing it better than you. So yeah, I think that was probably it. I mean, no matter what the track was, really, even places where I felt really good, I would always, go watch what somebody else is doing, or try to understand. And I don't know. I think like everybody loves to use excuses, myself included. That's for sure. But yeah, I never even tried to like have that. You know what I mean? Like just because Jared Mees is shorter or on a different motorcycle or whatever, you know what I mean? Like how is he making his bike go through that part of the track? And I'm not going to use the excuse that he has a different suspension tuner or whatever, you know what I mean? He's still making that. I've always said the easiest way to make your bike go faster is put a number 9 or a number 1 on it, or a number 3, right? Like change the plates, put
Yeah.
somebody else on the bike, your bike's going to go quicker. Like
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that that's the reality, right? But I guess maybe a long-winded answer, but that would be
No, it's
my
good.
advice.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people want to do it or hear it. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Well,
that's
not,
what I did.
yeah, I mean, yeah, not a lot of people they're not accountable really with what they're doing or not doing on the bike anymore. And a lot of it comes from their parents. It's like the parents, they're in their ear and, oh, that guy has this and you don't have that, or his bike's better, or he has this opportunity. Like the parents are, you're creating crutches for a lot of these kids. I see it talking to the kids, and I'll be over there in the pit trying to help the help the rider be better, and then the parent is like, they're creating a crutch. It's like, well, he would do this if he had that. It's like, well, he doesn't have that right now. Like he's got to figure it out. I always tell people there's no notes column next to the result. Like none of that matters, man. Like you get seventh or fourth or 12th or first. It's just that's the result on the page. So no, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good input. I'm a little bummed you didn't say that you watched my Peoria highlights over the years. I was a little bummed. I thought maybe that's what you did prior to winning on the Harley there in 22, man. I was a
All
little
right.
bummed on
Fair
that.
enough. Peoria was one of the ones I didn't watch a lot of, but I can tell you I watched a lot of Henry and a lot of Weed Sport. Or
Yeah,
Henry, excuse me, Lima. I meant Lima. A
Lima.
lot of
Yeah,
Lima watching,
you
and
did good at
a
Lima,
lot of
bro. You did good at Lima. I wasn't expecting you to get second. That was kind of a just like you probably weren't expecting me to get third at Castle Rock. I didn't think you'd get second at Lima. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Lima was a big one for me. I was definitely worried, and I feel like too. I mean, at least this is more for myself, right? But like previous to that, I had sponsors, but I always raced for myself. So if I didn't make the main, whatever, like that was on me. Or if I did a bad result, again, whatever, that was on me. Riding for the Vance and Hines guys, like, dude, it's their full time job to be supporting me. You know what I mean? And it's like that's not acceptable. like going out there and just being mediocre or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I have to be ready and prepared. I think that was also a big thing for me was kind of eliminating that excuse that was available, right? Like if I'm only letting myself down and I'm okay with it, then what's the big deal? You know, like I think that there's some famous dude who says like, "Oh, you quit on yourself once, it makes it easier the second time." Well, I'm great at doing it. You know what I mean? Like I used to quit on myself all the time. Like that's no big deal. It's just me I'm letting down.
Yeah.
But with the Vance and Hines guys, like I literally like no, that's not
No, they worked
acceptable. You
hard.
like
Yeah, they were
yeah.
hardworking guys, and they spent a lot of time with that motorcycle trying to make it competitive, man. And it really was. People were shitting on that bike all the way through the years, even the production twins years it was winning. And I'm like, dude, that bike's not that bad. Because here they're shitting on the bike. And I was at that point in time, I felt like I was riding very, very well. Like I did a lot of things very, very well. Like I think if I rode the premier class, I don't know if I would have won a race, but I would have gotten close a few times, I think, on my good days. And I'm riding my bike very well. It's a pretty good motorcycle. You've seen it over the last couple of years do well in the top class. And then people are just shitting on the XG. And then the XG is beating me. It beat me in 2020 for a championship. And then it beat me in 2022 with you on the bike. That bike, it was a lot better than people realize. And I think they saw it a little bit last year with Breyer. And now, granted, people say, well, he only won races because the Indian wasn't out there. And I'm not buying that. I think if you put Jared Meese out there on that Indian, Breyer still wins most of the
Yeah.
races that he still won. Um, what what are your thoughts on that motorcycle? And then I guess furthermore, how similar do you know, or I mean, I don't know how much you know right now, but how similar is Breyer's package with that bike to what you guys ran? Because I know they changed a few of the rules since then on the XG. But yeah, just a general like thoughts on that motorcycle because it got you your first championship.
Yeah, I didn't ride a lot of different like intricacies to the bike. I mean, I rode it obviously in 2021 as like a filling guy, and when I was filling in, my outlook on it was is I was gonna shut up, smile, and say thank you, and that was it. Like I didn't try to critique anything. You know what I
And
mean?
beat
I
the
was
other
happy.
XG guys, right? I mean,
Well,
you got to get it
100%.
right.
Yeah. The first guy you had to beat was your teammate, right? But yes, obviously that one. But it was more so just like, you know what I mean? Like if there was ever any reputation that I had previous of, not being a team player or, whatever, anything at all, right? I was trying to put my best foot forward and set a good example and everything else, right? So I don't think I ever like critiqued anything when I rode in 2021. Just said thanks, guys. You know what I mean? And like it's all good and every. I mean, I did fall the one time, but in 2022 I got to ride a couple different options, I guess you could say. So we obviously had a different engine package for the miles than I did for the half mile, short tracks, and TTs. So I had a different levels of the bike. The mile package was insane. I mean, obviously you saw how quick my bike was. It was ridiculous. To my knowledge, I think Breyer's bike is pretty much what they sell. Like I don't think there's. I mean, I know Zanatti like puts his forks on that he's had for like 35 years that have been on like every bike that like Breyer's ever won on with, I think. But outside of that, I think his bike is pretty much what they have available for sale. I don't know all the differences between what they have available for sale and what I rode. Um, but I do know that it's kind of like awkwardly enough two different companies, right? So Vance and Hines Motorsports is the company building the bike for sale, but the race team almost is its own entity within the company. So I don't know a whole lot of the differences. And honestly, I don't know any of the rule changes. I think maybe there's an ECU rule change.
They took away, so, and I might be wrong here because when I'm wrong, somebody from Essenson will point it out, right? Somebody to message me or something. But um, I think I think you guys were allowed to use like the race heads at the time. They like had the race heads and they got Harley. It was like a backdoor homologation. Like they got Harley. I think Vance and Hines made the heads. Again, I could be wrong. And then I think they like made them like legal. I think they sold them on a couple of bikes from the factory. And so the race heads they ended up being legal. And I don't know how much any of this stuff helped, honestly. And then I think they changed, I think you guys were allowed to run up to 900s or 800s back then, and
Yeah.
now you're not allowed to. And I will say, I'll let you kind of finish up on the question, but I will say, following you that last year, I mean, like the years prior, the XG was pretty good, but I could draft it pretty easily. I mean, I remember at Sac Mile when Chad was behind me. I wanted to lead it off four because I didn't think he could draft by me, and I could go by him whenever I wanted. Now, when we went to the Red Mile with you on that bike, and then you threw in Rispoli on the 6,000 horsepower KTM, there were two bikes that I really could not draft. I remember, and the G&G bike. Now that we've seen it, dude, it's fast. Like it's a fast bike,
Hmm.
and it's the same package that I had when you guys were out there, and I struggled to draft you guys that year. I mean, Springfield, I was shit. I was battling with I don't even know, bro. Some people like I got a funny Springfield story that Breyer still brings up to date. I'll mention it, but yeah, I struggled drafting you guys. I remember pulling out behind you at like the heat race, and I like it's the worst feeling in the world. You pull out on a mile, and you just like kind of you pull up next to him, and then you start to like fall back. It's like, oh no, this sucks.
Oh yeah.
Like half my career, I've had that. So
Yep.
yeah, but yeah. Uh, I don't know where I was going with that, but go ahead.
Well, different. You said differences. So
Yeah.
I I think the head difference. I never ran those. I think you would have seen those like the silver colored heads, or like even the silver cylinders, maybe. So Rispoli would have ran those in 2022 in Super Twins, but I think that was a Super Twins race only allowable. So I don't
Okay.
think I had that. Because mine were, I just always had like the production style. I mean, obviously they're not stock, but you know what I mean, like the black style, production style. Um, I don't remember what else you said about the differences, but yeah, I think the heads. I never ran
800s.
on
Did
the.
you run anything
Oh,
higher? Did you run
so
like a
I was always told no. I asked, but you know, not that they're going to give me the exact answer. I was always told you would be shocked if they ever opened us up and saw what CCs we were running. Everyone would be very shocked. Is I think the quote I was told. But I was also told no, we weren't over 800s, and I think the reasoning for it was is because, like I said, the race team and motorsports are almost like a little bit separate, different entities. And I think they had already purchased all the pistons for the year before the rules came out.
okay.
So I don't think there was like, I know I had heard maybe it was like Mikey Rush's team, maybe there was some rumors going around, right? And you know how rumors are that maybe they were above, but I don't know. Like at Sac Mile, Mikey was ripping that day, and I did have a harder time drafting him, but I could, you know what I mean? And like, but then it's like you go to Springfield Mile, I had the exact same setup, but I was spinning, so and
I
I
was
could
gonna
barely
say
draft
Sac
him.
Mile, dude. I was struggling drafting the Royal Infield at Sac Mile because dude, I would spin all the way off the corner, and by the time my bike would gain steam and go, because that day at Sac, the track sucked. Like I remember being in staging, and Vanderkoy, or no, Breyer comes in. Breyer, granted, this is Breyer. He comes in and he rides right over to me. I'm next to go out. He's like, track's horrible. They're gonna cancel the race. I'm like, oh, it didn't look that bad. Like I'm on the
Good
straightaway.
luck.
Yeah, he's like, there's no way we're gonna race today. They're gonna have to cancel it. I'm like, and then Vanderkoy pulled in, and I'm like, I'm excited for Sac because I won there both races the year before, like
Yep.
cruising around. And I'm in staging, and then Breyer comes in. Breyer, again, this is Breyer, who'll ride anything. And he's like, they're gonna cancel the race. I'm like, oh no, what do you mean? So, um, but yeah, no, so yeah, I mean, a lot of it you can have. I think that's the thing that with the XG too, it had such a like really good, reliable power, man. Like it just the power was useful. Where I feel like a lot of the parallel twins that I've ridden, sometimes you can have too fast of a bike. So, and you mentioned Mikey Rush, dude. I want this to be known for people watching as well. Like Mikey Rush, Dalton Gautier, um, like Colby rode the XG for a little bit, Rispoli, and dude, you rode that motorcycle. Ben Lau rode the bike and had some good results on it. You rode that bike so well. It fit. I never would have thought that would have fit your riding style the way it did, dude. Like, I mean, you're talking about some of those kids I just mentioned. They're singles champs. They're, people who are phenomenally talented riders that I could go out and beat, and they wouldn't keep me up at night too bad. Like I found ways to beat them. For you, I just want to give you your flowers. Like you rode that bike really, really well, where a lot of people, I think when you got the ride, they're probably like, oh, why Jesse? Why him? Like, why not somebody else? It seems like Carver, everybody's always wanting to put Carver on the bike. It's like, dude, Carver rode the bike at Volusia the one year, and I think I don't know how he did on it. I think Dalton might have beat him, but Carver's a great rider. But yeah, it was yeah. They're like they didn't why Janisch? So I thought you rode the bike very very well.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of it was just I don't know, like literally, you could ask Red, right? I was addicted to trying to be better, and it was just anything and everything I could to ride that bike as good as I possibly could, and yeah, like I completely changed how I rode a motorcycle, I feel like in 2021 without even riding for most of the year. Like I was helping Davis Fisher as much as I could. And by trying to help Davis is it's why I kind of started studying like what are Jared and Briar doing and how are they doing it and why are they doing it. And I was trying to help Davis as much as I could. And then that opportunity with the Vance and Hines thing came up and I'm just like, all right, well, it's time to like back up everything I've been trying to talk about, right? It's like, how can I now do that or implement that into my riding? And it's funny because I ice ride in winter here in Wisconsin, and my buddy's like, dude, you don't ride the same. And I was like, I don't ride the same at all anymore. Like I just ride around like smooth, kind of, it's like I got rid of any kind of aggressive riding style that
I
I
see
did
the
have.
picture in the background. You don't ride like that no more.
No,
I don't
wheels in
either.
line, man, just
Yeah,
wheels in line. Like it's
heard
like I
that.
got old, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's funny, but yeah, my buddy was just saying it on ice. He's like, dude, you just don't even look the same. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I don't ride that way anymore. It's yeah, and it's like it's it's easier to ride this way, you know what I mean? Which is even better.
I
So
think people would, I never got tired racing. Like I always had really good energy and real good fitness level, which I do work out and I train pretty fucking hard. But with that being said, I think my riding style a lot of the times as well, and Jared Meese, I think our riding style gives us the ability to have more energy and sustain it. Where somebody like Chad, no offense to my buddy Chad, but he rides hard, bro. Like the first 6, 8 laps of the race, his legs dangling. Dude, he's riding so hard, man. So that's something. Yeah, that's something where I think. Sorry, something came up on my computer here. Where are we at here? Okay, there we are. That's something where I think your riding style it's underrated when it comes to fitness and how long you can ride the bike. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. But yeah, so moving on too, you mentioned ice riding. I know you're back in Wisconsin. I see the videos and pictures. You've been grinding on the ice, man. How's that been? Because when you were down here, you acted like you didn't miss it much, but now that you're back in the thick of it, how's that going? And then one question I had for like the listeners is how much does ice riding transfer over to flat track and what transfers over? I think that's a big one. Like I've ridden on the ice a couple times. I've ridden some ponds, but never like what you guys have. And I remember you actually taught me something that I remembered. You said if you want to be good at TTs, motocross doesn't really help. Ice riding does. If you want to be good at jumping, ride moto. If you want to be good at TTs, ride on the ice. And that was a little bit of input. I don't know if you remember saying that or whatever, but I picked up on it, and yeah, I've not that I've gone ice riding since you've said that, but yeah, explain that a little bit.
yeah, well, I didn't really miss ice to be honest. And ice is one of those weird things that a lot of it's how good your tires are. So for me, it would get frustrating. I would show up and like my buddy Lance Woolen, for example, he won Springfield Short Track Pro Sport Night like '06 or 7 ish. Dude rips. He's insane on the ice. Or JR Schnabel, for example. Obviously, more flat track listeners know JR.
Who'd you say,
Both those
Lance
guys.
Wallen?
Yeah.
He
Yep.
won Springfield, dude. Springfield short track one
Yeah.
year. I got second. He beat me. I didn't know who he was. I beat a lot of good
Right.
people, bro. I got second, and this guy from Wisconsin, I had no idea who he was. His name's Lance.
Yeah.
He
I
won.
think
He won.
I think maybe Kos, Hannah. bunch of dudes that night.
Hiddle was out there. That era of guys, yeah, like dude, I rode so good. I got second, and yeah, I think he like kind of smoked me too. Like I don't think I think he was I think he yeah kicked our asses. So
And he rips on ice. So him and JR, right? So it's like I've been riding. I'm more fit than I've ever been. Like these guys have real jobs, and I'd go up in Wisconsin, show up to ice race, and it's like, dude, Lance beat me by like a full minute. And I don't even think he was trying. So it's like for me, it just kind of took the wind out of my sails on wanting to do it. So when we moved back last year, I literally rode for 3 laps all winter. One lap was on Lance's bike, and then two others on somebody else's. And then this winter, I was like, all right, like I kind of want to ride a little bit. Like I don't want to be like cooped up in the house all winter freezing, or when it's freezing outside. So I like put on my old ice tires and I got my bike ready and I went out and I rode once and I was like, all right, cool. Like Lance was smoking me. Like it wasn't even close, but I knew that my tires aren't good. And I was just out there to have a good time. And I'm like, this is cool. Like I enjoyed riding ice again. And like I was all good with it. And then, so I got this buddy, his name's Brennan Keys. He runs a place called Keys Services. And he built my flat track suspension for my bike, and he comes to a lot of the races and stuff. And he's got a really good relationship with this guy named Evil Ice Tires, uh, Brad Rosine. And
oh
so
yeah,
he gets a tire. Yeah, so he gets a tire from Brad Rosine, and like he tells me he's gonna borrow it to me for this. I was gonna do the Alacamuth Memorial Race on ice, so I was gonna do this memorial race. He's like, "I'll get you a tire." I was like, "All right, cool." And he brings it over and he like mounts it for me and he's like, all right, cool. And I was like, sweet. So like we go ride and I'm like, dude, this tire's insane. Like way more fun ice riding with great tires. And so I was having a fun day. And like at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, man, it's yours. And I was like, what do you mean it's mine? He's like, yeah, I bought it for you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
the tire.
Yeah.
They're
So my
expensive too,
buddy,
right? They're gotta be like eight
oh
hundred
yeah.
dollar tires at this point.
I think they're like 556 ish. They're a
Still,
lot.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, they're a lot. So, anyways, he ended up buying me this tire, and I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm gonna be like expected to ride and race. And the 3 hour that's like our most popular race, that one is always the same week I'm in Kentucky for Louisville for our MVP show. So I wasn't able to do the 3 hour, but there's another race that just came up. I actually just raced it on Saturday. It's called the 2 hour. Um, so obviously it's a 2 hour endurance race, and I did that and it's been a lot of fun. I'll be honest. Like I have had a really good time. Mainly just because I'm riding with my buddies again. It's less about caring about doing good and more just having fun with your buddies. But it was good. I ended up winning the 2 hour. I only won by like 7 seconds. So I
Oh,
tried to like. I am not in great shape. So I like definitely rode it only as fast as I kind of had to, and I
did you
still didn't know
solo
what
it
that
or
was. Yeah. Yep.
who got second?
Yes. It was Brady Lang, obviously you know
Oh
that
yeah,
name, and
yeah.
then Ethan Rosine, so Brad's son.
Ethan, he's fast too.
Um, yep, yeah, they
Dang.
rip, and I was
7
pacing
seconds,
Ethan.
bro. That's
I
crazy.
was pacing Ethan, like I saw him, and I saw him coming, and I was like, all right. I actually thought I was in second for a lot of it, so I thought I was battling for second, not the win. Either way, I'm still not just gonna like roll over and let him get by, but yeah, and then I ended up getting the win. So that was cool. It was
That's
fun.
sick.
And then to answer your question, so I don't think ice riding has a lot to do with ovals. Um, because ice is so incredibly consistent and like you you can kind of ride differently. Like you can turn the bike with the front end way more on ice than I feel like you can force it on dirt track. Like dirt track, it's kind of hard to explain. Like there's a level of grip with ice that so stays so consistent. Where like flat track, you have all of the grip, and then a lot of times you don't have enough. So and like that transition is kind of a big transition. But the ice riding thing with TTs, I do think is a true because there's so much front brake use and there's so many right handers because we only ride on road course style tracks. So like the smallest track I'll probably ride on is about a mile long and it's all lefts and rights. So basically the amount of front brake control and then just getting used to turning right. Like I don't know if you snowboard or ever snowboarded, but it's the same thing if like you snowboard regular foot and then you try to go goofy. It's like, dude, it's really awkward to go the opposite way or vice versa. It's really awkward to go the opposite way. And I think for flat trackers, it's like left hand is so natural. Obviously the brake is on the right, so it's easy to get to. And
Yeah.
it's so natural to go left. And it's like you see some of those guys try to go right, and it's like it's like the world's ending. You know what I mean? It's like trying
Yeah.
to cut a steak with your left hand when you cut it with your right your whole life.
Well, I've
You know what
noticed
I mean?
too that not to cut you off, but that's like with teaching crews how to road race. I've noticed like moto and road racing, they have a front brake, and they're not dependent on using the rear brake so much going right because they're just tapping the front brake, a lot of them. Where for Cruz to have good form in his right hand corners, he had to get off the rear brake because he had to get on the balls of his feet more. And like the grip too, the throttle's on the right side. So like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like you have to kind of like adjust the grip, get on the rear brake and then get off of it and like kind of tap the front and like roll through it, kind of like holding it like a screwdriver more, which they teach you in super camp and stuff to do that in flat track as well. But I noticed that, that's a big one also. Like it's awkward for people. Oh, flat trackers can't turn right. It's like, dude, I I think a lot of that is because of a lot of them are so not all like the pro level guys can turn right really good now. But a lot of the younger and amateur kids, they're so rear brake dependent. Because you don't have a front brake going in a circle, and then you give them the front brake, and it took crews a long time to learn how to use that. So, no, it's good, useful kind of knowledge there. What about cushion half miles though? Like I would think riding the
Yeah.
big fast ovals, it would help kind of with like cushions. I know a lot of the Michigan kids, they're good on cushions because they ride a lot of they ride more circles up there, right? Like
Yeah, I think so. I think it's changed a little bit now. It's kind of weird how different it is in Wisconsin versus Michigan. I think those guys use like a Canadian stud, which is a little bit different than the AMA spec stud. So yeah, the cushion thing though, yes, especially more so back in the day when our tires weren't nearly as good. We used to run like this trial style Kenda tire,
oh,
and
you
it
don't
didn't
use
go
them
through this.
anymore? That's what I have, I
No,
think. Really?
nah,
All right.
nah. The tire to use now is the Metzler MC360. That's like the really popular one.
It's been a minute
Um,
since I've done it, man. It's probably been 15 years since I've ridden on the ice, easily.
it, it's like a sand tire esque kind of tread pattern, but it basically scoops through the snow and still gets the stud to the ice. So
Mm.
the Kendas would basically teach you just to grip it and rip it. I mean, you could get it through the snow enough to like get the bike turned, and then it was all about just whacking the gas wide open and just dealing with it. And that's kind of what a lot of cushion riding is, right? Like you kind of get into the corner, and as soon as you can get it turned and get it wide open, screw it. Just whack the gas wide open and deal with the bumps and the roost afterwards. And that's kind of how ice riding used to be. It's a little different now, but yeah, the style, especially the knobbies don't hook up quite as good as the Kendas do, like on glare ice. So the style's still a little bit, but you can like I said it before, like I ride different now, and I just kind of keep wheels in line and ride smooth. And you can do that in the snow with the big knobbies, and you never used to be able to do that with the Kendas. So
Yeah.
I would say it worked for like JR. I mean, that dude was like an animal on the cushions. But then you look at my results at Lima, and I have one decent result, and that was I got second to you and the Production Twins. Outside of that, I mean, I think I was running like seventh one year when I high sided and broke my collarbone, and I don't know if I made the main ever again. So,
Dude,
like, I don't have good Lima
Lima be
results.
like that, man. There's days where I went to Lima thinking I would do really well and I was awful. And then there's days that I didn't think I would do very well and I would finish well. Man, I don't know. Cushions, yeah, dude, you just gotta wake up on the right side of the bed those days sometimes too. I mean, you got to wake up frothy. I mean, you can't go there tired. You can't go there overthinking it. I mean, it's like a mentality to do well at Lima. I mean, you can be a good cushion rider and not do well there. But dude, it's kind of crazy too, and this is changing topic, but how many good like clay track riders have won their first national at Lima or have done very well at Lima? Like Will Davis was a notoriously well known, probably one of the best ever clay half mile rider, won his first main event at Lima. And then Jared Meese, like
Yep.
clay track rider, notoriously growing up, won his first national at Lima.
Coolbeth
So
won there too. Not
Coolbeth
his
won
first,
Lima?
but I think he won
No,
Lima. Didn't it
that's
brush off
second.
once?
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember Coolbeth winning Lima, but I do remember, I think it was
Greenville?
Coolbeth won
Greenville?
Scioto Downs, Columbus. which
Okay.
would brush off like crazy. About, dude, lap 3 or 4 of the main event, it would groove up around the bottom and he would smoke them. He was so disciplined and good at that stuff. You don't see cushion tracks groove up anymore, man. I wish they did. I was always let her groove midway through the main event. I'll find it. But
Yeah, I think we
they
don't
don't
get
do
the
it
same
anymore.
amount of. I mean, we don't have 80 riders either, and I think
Yeah.
AFT's gotten a lot better with track prep. It's definitely it's written in the schedule right when they're doing it, and I think they do take it a little bit more serious than a long time ago. It was like, oh man, we got all these riders and scratch heats, and you start getting that little bit of a hard base on a cushion, and it just comes
That's
right
it.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and obviously, you also have Jared prepping Lima now, which I guess Lima's kind of our only cushion, and he's not letting it groove because he'll never
It
hear
kind
the
of
end of
grooved
it
up
from the
last year though,
riders.
man, a little bit because I
Did it?
think, well, they had, dude, the amateur day on what they do, the amateurs on Thursday, and then they do Friday and Saturday. So 3 days of riding on a cushion. It's going to groove
Gotcha.
up a little bit. I don't mind when it, like I said, I don't mind when it does that because it makes it a little bit more technical. When you have like the Limas from 15 years ago, dude, it was a war zone. It was just like whoever could keep it pinned and not crash. They usually won the race, right? Now it's the last few years, it's been a little bit more technical where you don't, you need big balls to do well, but it's not just about that. It takes a little bit of finesse and yeah, stuff like that. I got kind of two more questions for you. Are you doing last year we had you adventure tracker Janish? Is we gonna see that
I don't
again
know.
or
I literally were like, I don't even know how many days out from Daytona.
are
18
they running
maybe?
them
I'm
there?
I'm guessing. They are. Yeah. And I still don't know if I'm going. I don't have a pro card. I don't have a flight, and I'm not saying that I'm not.
How are
So I literally,
what are the negotiations looking like? Like, do I need to be your manager or what are we doing?
I mean,
What are we waiting on?
I drew a pretty hard line in the sand of like how I would do it. So I just haven't heard an answer yet. Yeah.
I thought you were the best guy on them last year. You just didn't execute. But I thought
Oh
speed
wait,
wise,
whoa!
we had the
My
speed.
bike broke. My bike broke.
Is that what one of the I watched
Yeah.
one or two of them and your execution was a little off. I'm trying to think, was it Sturgis? The short track?
I'm
You went for there was some
I got
sort of issue at one of the races where
well the bike broke at Sturgis. I was in second.
the oval though, I felt like I'm without remembering exactly. Were you riding like the outside for a while or
Yes.
inside? Yes.
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
what
I think I was third off the line. So I was trying to get by. And
I
then
think I
but I ended
was
up second. I got
yeah.
second in the main. So
Yeah, well you should have
it
won, I
was
felt like, right? Your starts weren't good.
uh
Your execution on the starts. Usually you get really
well,
good starts.
I would say my execution in qualifying because Bromley was fast qualifier and then Luzak was second. And there we had no heat race. So it went, or I don't think we had a heat race. Oh, maybe we had a heat race, but
Yeah,
it was
but
all
on
the
a
same
short track,
riders.
you got to be
And
on
it
the
was all the same
bottom.
riders.
And
Yeah.
those bikes don't
So
really spin off the line, so there's not as much technique on the start, right? I mean, everybody was probably getting similar starts.
actually, it was the opposite. They make way too much power. So it was
Hmm.
actually where we all kind of crawl off the line.
Okay.
But with that, we're all going so slow off the line that we all kind of were the same. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
makes
Um,
sense.
Not last year. I mean, I had it all kind of figured out because Dan won the second night, and then Dan was really good at the TT. So I was worried about getting second there. But when Henry fell, I would have been second, but the bike broke, so I DNF'd essentially, and then
What was
yeah, and then I won
Peoria?
Peoria.
One
So
Peoria, yeah. That was
yeah, yeah,
crazy. That was a crazy is that when Eslick
yeah,
went for it?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's like gave me the old dive bomb on the last lap. Yeah, that was cool. So
How was jumping that thing? Was it
well, it wasn't bad. The only thing about Peoria was I was nervous was because what I broke at Sturgis was because the bike is heavy and we were bottoming out. So like I went to Peoria and I'm like, well, okay, like if this happens to Dan, for example, I need to keep the bike together and I need
need
to
to
win.
finish? Yeah.
Right. So like I was still trying to play the whole championship game, you know what I mean, opposed to just winning one race. If I would have just went to like try to really rip, I think I could have, but I was just trying to like keep everything together
Yeah.
and like, try to win a championship, I guess. But yeah, yeah, unfortunately like the AFT kind of made the series a little difficult this year. I mean, The series is literally in Daytona, Chico, California, Maryland, Sturgis, and Peoria. So it literally covers the entire country. So it's like it's tough, and obviously I have a really, really good job that like I can't sacrifice anything with my job just to go racing. Like
Yeah.
literally in my interview for the job, I said, "Look, I'm done professionally racing. Like this is my focus." And it was not 5 months later I get a phone call and I'm going back into the same office like, "Hey, so remember that
I
thing I
think it's
talked to you
cool though
about?"
too for them a little bit marketing. It's like, dude, one of our staff members is winning, support classes in AFT. Like I think that's cool, right?
I think they think it's cool. I think that I worry too much about it. I think that's kind of like the
Whose office do
reality,
you have to go in? Is it Paul?
Paul Devine, more or less,
No,
and he's
Paul
already
Devine.
okayed it. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
already okayed it for the record. And literally, no joke, on either Thursday or Friday, Paul Langley, for those that
Yeah.
don't know, from SNS previously, he's our CEO. He was walking through our office area, and I like, hey, Paul, like, how's it going? And he's like, hey, am I going to see you in Daytona? And I was like, I honestly don't know. For the record, I might come down anyways because my buddy Brady Lang is gonna race. I think AFT singles, so I wouldn't mind coming down and supporting him. And I like cheering on Trent and like seeing everybody, obviously. So there's a possibility that I might fly down because there is a pretty cheap flight with Allegiant out of Rockford. So I'm on the fence about it.
Let's go.
Even
Come
if
down.
you know,
Amateur
I
race Wednesday, dude.
well, the flight is Wednesday and Saturday. So I would come down
Ah,
Wednesday, be back Saturday. So I wouldn't be down for long because it would be on my own
yeah.
dime and my own vacation. But yeah, I don't know. I might be there racing. I'll say this: if I'm not racing adventure trackers, I'm not racing Daytona. That's for sure.
I'm not
Um,
racing Daytona. I'll tell you that much.
but I
I
do
wrote I
intend to
wrote it
do
last
one
year.
race this year. I
Last
intend
year
to do
was
one race this year. I'll say that.
on the
So
on something. Like on a
on
non-adventure bike.
correct. Yeah. Yep.
Wonder what
I
that
plan to.
is.
Who knows? You just never know.
It ain't Springfield Mile, I'll tell you that much.
Why not? I
You
like
ain't gonna ride
Springfield.
a single at Springfield.
Oh, I'd have to lose a lot of weight. That'd be a problem.
If Tim Essenson grabbed one of their spare singles and said, Jesse, I really need you to ride Springfield. We need
In a heartbeat, dude.
we
There wasn't even be a second thought.
you'd ride a single?
Oh, absolutely.
I'd ride
I
their
wouldn't even have to
single
worry.
for sure.
Bro, nobody would even be able to draft me on that thing. It'd be easy.
Yeah. Well, it would be easy, but it would be easier.
Have you seen the movie Cars? Just
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that. All three of them. Have you seen all
yep.
three? Or just one?
I
There's
don't know.
three cars.
I think I've seen two of them.
You haven't saw the last one with he
No,
trained his trainer.
no,
The
no,
trainer's name is Cruz.
no.
Oh, it's a
Sorry,
good one. That's the best
I'm
one.
out on that one. I'm out on that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do intend to race once this year as like probably my last AFT race. That's my plan at least. But
I've heard that for 10 years from you, dude. My
I
last race.
know, but
I
I
ain't
stopped. I
racing.
did stop saying it.
Yeah.
So, and I have, like I said
Dude,
before,
I'm the
I have an
same way though,
awesome
bro.
job.
One day I'm
Supporters.
gonna come back and whoop all their asses at a track like Sonoy. And then other days I'm like, I don't even want to get dressed at PAX. Like I'm just like, I don't feel like riding today, dude. It's just putting on my knee pads just takes too much time. I have been riding some moto. Feel pretty good. Um, I just don't want to go that fast anymore, dude. To win, like you have to go fast. I can go fast still. I just don't want to. Um,
Yeah.
it's fast. Like the level to win at a pro race is fast.
Well,
Like I think I
I'm
could
not
go
gonna.
out to Sonoy and I think I could qualify top three on a good bike on a 450. Truly believe I could do that. But then let's say I go out and I get a bad start and I'm seventh or eighth coming off turn two. I'm out. I don't want any parts of it, dude. It's like,
I'm not showing up to get seventh or eighth.
well,
That's
when
all
you
I could
ride at the
say.
front for so long, and this sounds so ego-y because it was in production twins, but when you ride at the front with two or three guys for 4 years, and then you jump in the back, like those production challenge races, they would start us on the fourth row. It's like you come off turn two, and dude, there's 15 guys ahead of you. I'm a really good racer when I'm up front. Like if I can just race one guy at the front of the pack, I don't care if it's Jared Meese or Shelby Miller. Had to get my Shelby Miller reference in here on this episode, but I feel pretty good. Like, I'm not saying I would beat Jared a lot, but I think I'd get him a couple times. And you put me in 15th and you put Breyer in 15th or Jared, we're different riders. Like, I don't like being in the thick of it, bro. I don't trust any of those idiots. Like, every time
Yeah.
I've gotten hurt and broken a bone, it's because somebody's crashed in front of me and I've run into them. It's very uncommon. I just lay the bike down by myself. Usually it's because of somebody else doing something in front of me. It's like, a bunch of idiots. I trust racing with them. So I like
You're
racing
talking.
you and other people like that. You trust. It's fun when you trust one or two guys like Chad. I always trusted Chad. He was
Yeah.
really fun to race with, and you and Dalton. Dalton was a pretty good, smooth rider. But man, you put somebody up front that I don't trust. It's like it's not as fun. It sucks.
Well, and you referenced the trustworthy class. Think about being in the back of the singles class. Like
And it's gotten
when
worse, man.
I did that year of 2020, and I was just on a bone stock husky that I had, and I spent a lot of time between like 12 and 18.
Yeah.
Dude, it is all you gotta go back and watch Atlanta short track. That
I
I think
don't
you were in that crash.
Nah. Oh
What
yeah, I was in the
with Wellesley?
2018. Yeah.
Yeah, that crash alone, just like that, dude. I was right next to that crash.
I
Like I
was
remember
right in it.
watching it,
Yeah. Well,
dude.
dude, if you go back and you watch all the different angles of it, I see them crashing before the vet rider in me. I lift, right? I'm like, "Oh shit, this is not good." And I get rear-ended from behind like by five guys who are literally in 15th and they're going for it. It's like, boys, he's crashing. Like, lift the throttle. I literally got ramrodded into the pack. Like, I hit hard. That someone's tire like clocked me in the helmet, and I remember
That was a
getting
nasty
up,
crash.
bro. I remember getting up, and I didn't know what planet I was on, but I was pissed. I'm like, this fucking class, dude. How didn't they see him crashing, man? Where if you're on a twin. Breyer, Meese, Coolbeth, Jake, all those
Yeah,
guys, bro, they would have missed it or they would have avoided it. In the singles class, it
right.
was too many guys have pro licenses, especially 6, 7 years ago, more so than now. And I'm not knocking Wellesley. Wellesley's a very good rider. That was crazy though. How you crash in second place? Um, too many guys have pro licenses that shouldn't have one.
Yeah.
Like guys that can barely there's not enough dirt bike skill for a lot of those riders, the pro flat trackers. Like go back and look at an entry list from like 2010 or 11 in the pro singles class. I look at the entry list, I'm like, how did 30 of these riders, because I know who they are, how did they get a pro license? It's like, oh, back in the day we had 80 pro singles riders. It's like 30 of them shouldn't have been on the track.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets spooky back there. If I'm doing one race, I don't plan to be back there. Well, we're gonna pick
Yeah.
a track where I'm all right at.
Yeah. Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
No, you're a Supercross guy. Thoughts on the season so far? I got my Tomac shirt on underneath here. Yeah,
Epic.
thoughts on let's start
It's
250s, man. Are you a
well,
Deegs fan? I don't
250s.
I don't know if you I forget if
Yeah,
you like
I,
Deegs or if you don't. I like Deegs.
I respect the Deegs. I mean, am I a fan of like all the stuff he does? I wouldn't do it. Like I mean, I don't know. Like why poke the bear?
Yeah.
I know you like that reference, right? Why
Yeah.
poke the bear? Like why make an enemy when you don't have to? You know what I mean? But Seattle was insane. Like watching him and Kitchen go at it, that was awesome.
So
Speaking of
good.
Kitchen, dude, Brandon Kitchen raced this past weekend on ice.
Really? He's fast too.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, it was
really
cool
fast.
seeing him.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
450 class has been insane. I mean, I had Coop winning, like especially after he was in the lead. I didn't think Tomac would get him, but it was pretty wild
Yeah.
seeing Tomac go like he was rolling into the rhythm sections
Yeah.
because it was so rutted. He like roll and then double
Yeah.
out. Like I'm like, it was cool. Yeah, Supercross has been
How about
awesome.
Deegan and Kitchen doing the table, like the triple in onto the table, that line, and then the 450s weren't even consistently doing it.
Yep.
Dude, they were
Yeah, I
flying.
mean, I think the track breaks down obviously more,
Little
which
bit.
makes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was insane to see how consistent they were. but like Tomac was getting it almost every lap. I think some of it was obviously we're like bench racing it, right? But like having like the commitment to go for it, I would assume. But I don't know if they were dragging
Risk
tags up
versus
it or not.
reward. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I would have
think
totally jumped it. Looked
I
easy.
dude, that track looks scary. I would like to ride. I'd like to roll around a supercross track and just get the courage enough to like do a finish line. I think a lot of what makes supercross scary is the timing. Like, I think we could do, I mean, I could probably like clear the gap if it was the only jump, like on the straightaway, but you have to like time it. The timing is so hard. But usually the finish line, there's no timing after it. So I
Yeah.
actually would like to follow somebody over a supercross finish line just to say
I
I did.
rode at one, but nobody else was there, and it was like a practice track, but it was to spec, and I think I did one double, and it was in the rhythm section, and it was small, and like I didn't jump the finish
Why?
line
Because they're just peaky or
because I know how much it hurts to bottom out, and I
yeah.
was just like not it like obviously I was on stock suspension,
You're a
but
way
like
better moto guy than me, so maybe I'm just
for
yeah.
me it's just commitment, like knowing
Yeah.
if I come up short or I overjump it, this is gonna really hurt. And it's just like, yeah, it's just not worth it. Like the juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? Like it just ain't worth it. So if there was somebody good and like they kept ragging on me to do it and I could follow them,
You'd be
yeah,
fine.
I would
Be fine.
probably jump it. But I rode like one of the back in the day, I think it was called SMX Next. It was like the tame down supercross. I rode one of those. I did every jump and it was easy. So there was a huge difference between like the tame down SMX Next tracks and like a legitimate supercross track where I didn't jump anything. It was crazy the difference.
Have
So,
you ever jumped a like a super freestyle jump, like a ramp? Have you ever
uh,
metal to
no,
dirt? Those are scary looking too.
if I have, it would have been like something really small and weak, not like anything that's cool.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, when I asked you about the what advice would you give racers to be pro, you talked mainly about kind of like the on the bike ability. What are your th I'll finish up on this, but what are your thoughts with modern day like social media and how kids are making money and YouTube and you don't even have to race anymore to make money. I mean, you could do what Axel Hodges and Colby Raha and all those guys are doing. You can make content. What is that Suron guy that probably makes? Dude, probably there's a guy that just rides Surons. Apparently, I had no idea. It makes a lot of money. He rides Surons. Yeah, like what are your thoughts on that? Like, because I have like Cruz. He likes to race, but he'd rather ride than race at this point for him. And he also does flat track and road racing, and he rides moto. So for somebody like Cruz, what advice would you give for like you want to make money racing? Like he doesn't want to go to college. School isn't his thing. He doesn't like school. What advice? I'm gonna
Shoot.
show him this too.
I
I'm gonna show him this clip
what advice? Well,
of
I mean,
Janisch
social media
input.
wasn't really my thing. I tried to do it as minimal as possible just to keep myself out of trouble after I consistently got myself in trouble. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. My outlook on it, I guess, is to make money racing. Well, it's tough. Um, build relationships with people. You know what I mean? Obviously, have good relationships with everybody that you can, and just try to be a good person. That's something I struggled with for a few years. Not
We all
I
do,
chose to not be. I chose
we,
to not be right, but
bro. We
no,
all do.
having good relationships with everybody. Obviously, that's key because yeah, I mean, like if you're getting paid by YouTube or Instagram or something, that's great. But a lot of times it's going to be like a company in the industry that's sponsoring you to get their brand out. So, being a good representative for those companies and those people, that's obviously super key. So I would say, yeah, getting out and like, it's unfortunate, but like we have like these motorcycle shows, right? And there's not a lot of racers that come to them. But I know Jared Mees always used to go, and it's like, well, that's where how you meet a lot of these people in the industry,
Face
like
to
for example,
face.
I'm wearing a Cycle Dynamics or Custom Dynamics, excuse me, shirt and an alloy art hat, right? Those are more V twin companies, but like the way you meet these people is from being at the shows, and like you can get a, as you said, face to face introduction, and if it's like you meet him once and you see him again in a year. You get back there and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I met him before, and like they see how much your social
Yeah.
media has grown or whatever. So yeah, it's all a lot relationship based, especially it's weird, right? Like it's this massive industry, and then you come to one of these shows, and it's always the same people. I think it's kind of cool, but a lot of people know Cole Seeley. He was a pro supercross racer. His brother works in the industry, so I see his brother at all these shows, and like we don't really know each other, but I was working right next to him in one of our booths, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, sorry, awkward question. Are you Cole Seeley's brother?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Dude, you guys look exactly alike." I was like, "Oh,
That's
that's
so
cool, man."
funny.
I was like, I was a big fan, watching Supercross, and I think his name is Chance Seeley. But yeah, he works for a company in the industry, and it's like, like all of a sudden a year later you see him again. So I would just say, yeah, build relationships as early as you can and keep them as consistent as you can. I've always said too, in a working atmosphere, it's like it's never been easier to communicate with people, and somehow we're worse at it than we've ever been. It's like it's almost like maybe we have too many forms of communication. Like people don't reply to emails, or they don't reply to texts or a call back or whatever. But it's like sometimes those things go a long way, especially when you're working with a company. Like they
Kids
have,
don't get it either. They
yeah.
just
Well,
don't. They
like,
just. It's common to ghost people. It's like no,
yeah, yeah.
just
One, you ghost the wrong person, right? Like people have deadlines, right? Like we have budgeting, and like there's timelines on stuff. So it's like you don't get back to somebody in time, and they already had the meeting for where their dollars are being spent, and there it goes. You know what I mean? Like you've lost that opportunity.
then they
So
pull the I can't get sponsorship. Why do they sponsor this kid and not me? It's like people look at sponsorship like it's a charity, and they don't. It's like, dude, when they're sponsoring you, you got to make it worth their time. Like how many thousands of people hit up Parts Unlimited for sponsorship every year, from flat track to moto to hare scramble, road race, hill climb. Not only are you competing with your own discipline, but you're competing with thousands of moto kids and hare scramble, and you have 100 followers on social media. You post once every 3 months. You don't.
I could talk
Yeah, but
about
you had good. I was gonna say your results are subpar, and you're wondering why you don't get sponsorship. It's like, dude, it's a competitive. It's like going for a job interview at a big company, and there's 100 resumes on that desk. What makes you stand out? And that's the biggest advice I give kids with sponsorship and stuff. It's like you got to stand out. Like, why are they
yeah.
gonna? They don't have. They're gonna pick 5 kids out of thousands. Um, you got to stand out. You got to make a difference. So, yeah, it's some good input, man. I remember going to the Indy Dealer Expo back in the day. That was like the expo we all went to at the
Yep.
Colts Stadium.
Yep.
I used to run around and get just free stickers from all the places, man. And I'd come back with boxes of stickers, and I remember that's like when the new MX versus ATV game that first ever came out. They gave us a demo at the Indie Expo, and me and Johnny Lewis played it. Your buddy Johnny played it on the way home. We played it the whole trip home. But yeah, there's cool things at those dealer expos, man, and you do get to meet some cool people. So yeah, it's
And it's
good.
like I said, the people stays consistent. Like they might move around from a company to another company, but like
Yeah.
the industry is actually really small. So once you get in it, you start meeting people. Like, yeah, it's just all about relationships, because you'll see people, if something happens at a company, they'll be with another one, and it's, yeah, you start getting in, and obviously being well spoken, being polite, all those things, they go a long way. Like you said, standing out. Well, people are going to remember the kid that was a brat, for speaking of younger kids, at the dealer show, but they're also going to remember the kid that was professional, polite, shook their
Yeah.
hand, looked them in the eyes, right? Like they're going to remember them both, but only one's going to get helped out. So
You
yeah, I think
remember
relationships for sure.
you remember Justin Hanna? He used to go to those dealer shows and he'd wear like a suit and tie and he'd hand out his resume, and
Yeah.
he used to go to space camp too. Fun fact.
I've heard. Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah,
That
he
guy
was a
was
little
fast
younger than
too.
me.
Bro, a
He
lot
was a
of
little younger than
people,
me,
a lot
but
of
yeah.
kids from our era just he was a top
Yeah.
kid, and like
Yep.
in like the a tough era, like Stevie Bonzi era,
Mikey
like
Mikey Avila?
Mike Avila, yeah.
Like, dude, he like ripped for
Joe
rookie season.
Hernandez. I talk about Joe
Oh,
Hernandez all the time. That kid was so fast.
Wasn't he friends with Bobby Fong?
Stockton. Stockton kid. Yeah, he was from
Yeah.
Stockton, I think, which is that's a tough area, bro, to grow up. That's a tough area, but man, he was so fast. And then like there's so many kids. I want to do like a big YouTube like where are they now? Like Ricky Marshall, bro, come back to us. Like
Dude, Ohio Cushions.
yeah.
He's still ripping on
Oh
Ohio Cushions.
man. Yeah, he was so good.
Charlie Italia.
Yeah, and then even like the
Remember
younger
Charlie?
kids, like kid that raced with Shayna, Ricky Boley, another kid. Yeah, you just these kids would come up 2, 3 years and they're gone, and you never hear from
Yeah.
them again. It's like
Logan Myers, Carter Myers, Travis Myers, the Michigan
Carter
Myers.
Myers actually hits me up sometimes now. His son races moto, and
Yep. Well, that's why I was thinking of him.
he hit me up, and I was like, "Is this the Carter Myers that used to race flat track?" Because I remember I didn't start racing till I was a little bit older, but I was a big fan of the sport, and he used to have his picture in all the AMA magazines because he would always win amateur nationals, and I always thought it was cool. He had a number one on his CR80, and he had the fin on the helmet, and I was, believe it or not, I was a big Carter Myers and Travis Myers fan before I even started racing. And I remember meeting them, and they were like, the Carter's. They're, I've talked to him a few times. He's really nice now, but at the time they were kind of mean. I was like, oh, these kids are mean. But yeah, I remember watching those kids, and yeah, like Ricky Marshall, and yeah, I was a fanboy when I was young. He's only like a year older than me, but
Do you remember
yeah,
Clayton Riggle?
I do know that name. But he was when I
Yeah.
was getting in, he was kind of out, was getting out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I did some, me, him, and Sammy Halbert were all like right at this, and Ricky Marshall were all like the same age group at AmNats. And Clayton was really good out of
that's a tough
Illinois.
age group, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
And it's like,
times.
it's almost annoying. Like, I'm like Sammy obviously still races, but like, man, like we're like the only two left. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really race
Yeah.
much, but like I'm racing locally still, but like a
Did you
lot
win
of
that
them,
championship last year? I forgot. I knew you were chasing it. Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
won both,
It's what
both
we
of them.
do. It's what we do.
Both of them.
Win titles, champ, champ.
Yeah, District 16, double
Belt over
A.
the
Or wait,
did they give out
maybe it's
belts?
not double
Because
A.
we gave out belts last year.
Oh, I got a hoodie. Yeah, I got a hoodie
It's not a
for
belt.
my championship. No, no, I think I got a hat too, maybe. Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see if I can defend it this year.
I love that.
Yeah,
Just gotta put that work and study the film, like you
dude,
said.
it's what we do at 38 years old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
I
crush the hopes and dreams of the upcoming racers in our district.
yeah. Hey, if they can't beat a 38-year-old Parts Unlimited rep, maybe they just need to work a little bit harder.
Time to hang it up. Just hang it up.
Last question. Who's winning Daytona and the championship in singles and twins this year?
Singles and twins. Well, it sounds bad, but I don't even know everybody in everything. Um, who do
Is
I
there
think's going
anybody
to win,
that
or who do I
might,
want
is
to
there
win?
anybody that's not going to be in it that could win who you know is going to be in it? Like, is
Well,
anybody
like,
going to fling off the couch and win?
no, probably not.
Yeah.
Who's going to win Daytona? I'm going to go with one night Breyer, one night Dallas, and I'm going with Breyer for the championship for twins. Singles. Um, that's a good question. Well, first off, is Dalton even what the heck is he racing? Like, is he? There's like this Frankenstein twin that doesn't really exist but does exist. I think
Yeah.
Robbie Bobby's using like AI to build it. But then all of a sudden he's got like a Triumph 450. They got like 17 KTM 450s. Like, is Dalton racing singles?
He was on our podcast a couple episodes ago, and he's going to ride both, he said, I think.
Okay.
But then
Well
again,
then
Rob has said he would get that twin done last year before Lima, and it's still not done.
I'll say if
Close.
Dalton races at KTM, I've got him racing or winning one night, and I'll say Tom Drain wins the other.
Yeah.
I want Chase to win the championship, but I think Tom Drain probably will again. So
Does Trent win again on the Honda this year?
yes, yep, yeah, I think he's gonna be better. So yeah, absolutely. I think obviously they made a change. Like I don't know what round, but mid-season, like what round, maybe 7 or 8, and his results certainly picked up. Um, I think he's obviously riding a ton. I talked to Trent a little bit, and obviously I root for him. So, I mean, at Springfield Mile, he was hands down the best guy the entire weekend, both days. Obviously, I think the first day they threw a chain while he was like battling for the win in the main or the dash, and I think he would
Yeah.
have won the overall that day had he finished that main event kind of where he was, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think he was the best guy all day there. Obviously, they've got more time with the bike. He's actually got a legitimate backup bike, I think now that's like the same of his as his primary. So yeah, I think he should be able to win a race this year. Yeah, but I also think Breyer's program is going to be stepped up a little bit, and I think
Why do
that's
you
going to
feel
be
that?
encouraging. Well, I don't
Like,
even
what are
know
your
if his
thought? What are
team's
your thoughts? What are your thoughts on? I mean, Bigelow's helping
his.
him. We've kind of
Okay, I
seen.
didn't even know if anything was announced. I'm the
Well,
guy that
we've
drove the
seen it at.
truck
I
over
mean,
there.
I know a little bit here and there, and I think I don't know what they haven't really announced officially their full program, but he was helping him at Winter Throwdown, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of not a big secret that that Bigelow is helping them because I think Cody announced his program with David Michelle and kind of moving into Breyer's spot. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Bigelow helping Breyer?
I mean, I think I would probably bet, especially being like a one man band, there's not anybody even close to being more prepared, like based on how many people are a part of the program. You know what I mean? He's just the type of person I think that it doesn't matter what needs to get done, it's going to get done. And I think other people kind of rest on their laurels a little bit and won't go do that extra thing. I think he doesn't even have to sleep if he doesn't want to. Like that guy's a machine. I don't know him like personally super, super well, but just being around and seeing like the Turner team when he was running it, he's just so particular and precise on everything he does. And it's always got to be done the correct way, and it's like I'm saying stuff that like sounds like common sense on how everybody should be, but that's just not the
No,
way it
yeah.
is. You know
Especially
what I
flat
mean?
track
So
tuners too, man. Like you said, they get really set in their ways, and it's no, I agree. I think his mindset as a as a tuner, you don't really see it with other tuners in the sport. I mean, he is a grinder. So no, I just wanted to see what you thought on that. It's a big move. So
yeah, I
uh
think yeah, as far as preparation will be just second to none, I think. And
yeah.
um and like I mean I know Breyer fairly well, but I think that'll also help him. You know what I mean? Just knowing that every stone has been turned over and looked at, and you know what I mean. I think that'll help him and help him be more calm on race day too. So
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have Cody this year to kind of mix things up. Like last year, you had the winner get second. If you had a bad day, you had to be second. So I think it's nice that we'll have Cody. I think it actually makes it easier for Breyer and Dallas that there are more. I've had this argument with somebody, but it makes it easier that there are more guys that are at the front because your bad day, instead of it being a second, your bad day can be a fourth maybe now. Because Trent's gonna be better, Cody's gonna be better, Cody's gonna be in the mix and be very, very fast. So.
B Rob,
Actually, B Rob is going to say, B Rob, he'll be good still, really good. He's been riding really well at PAX and looking
did we lose
good.
Vanderkoy?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know,
he's also
man.
kind of like, especially at the right track, he's absolutely up there. You know what I
He's
mean? Where he
amazing.
could
I
be
think if he could get
available.
on a program that he could put some work in and really focus, like I think Vanderkoy is he's very, very fast. And he's well rounded too. Like he can TT,
Yeah,
he can clay track, he can cushion. Um, Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know if he'll be in that tier with those five guys just because the work they're putting in this offseason in their program. I don't know. I think Jared's just been grinding, working, but I hope he gets a good program, and we need him in the sport, man. We need those guys. Davis, he's another one who's
yeah.
very, very fast. Yeah, so we'll see. Bodie is racing select rounds as well with a Bigelow 450 Honda. I don't know if I can announce this, but I guess I'm already halfway through it. But he's going to be doing, I think, the Coin, Springfield, Lima, and Peoria. Those rounds don't conflict with his Moto America
Peoria does.
schedule. Peoria is the same as the Moto America, not his class, I don't think.
I don't know. I know he wasn't doing Peoria though.
Really? Okay.
That's what I
I
was
think
told.
I'm pretty sure he is doing it.
Oh, all right.
I think I'd have to double check the schedule, but I know that's like the one he really wants to do. But anyway, he'll
Yeah.
be out there doing a couple rounds on a really good bike. So what what's could he podium? Could he mix it up? Because
Oh
you
yeah.
got Tom and Chase, and then yeah, a couple of those other
Yeah,
kids.
but
But
I mean, you named DeCoin and Springfield, and like, not to be rude, experience is beneficial there, but talent doesn't make like he's talented. Obviously, I'm not saying he's not, but like it doesn't take as much talent to go wide open all the way around the track. It takes more like brain power, I guess, to win those races. But
yeah,
there's also like that hint of luck. You know what I mean? Like I think Bodie would have to have like the stars align for him to win a half mile right now. I don't necessarily think he could just go out and get it done, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Talent wise, obviously, I think the kid's super talented. But like, I think you go out a mile, and if you have a good program and you're fit, which I know he's crazy fit, and you're like a hard charger, if as long as you have that little bit of luck, you can easily get the win.
off the
So
last corner. Yeah, I mean it'd be interesting too.
right,
Like man, Liddy didn't look like Tom. Tom had all those miles, kind of just like
yeah.
man, he just had it on lock. So it'll be interesting to see if yeah, and Bodie's got road racing experience, so I think that the draft and the Moto 4 stuff he does overseas, like he knows how to draft, and that'll be helpful. But no, both classes are going to be cool this year, man. I think there's a lot of young kids coming up, and a lot of kids moving. I call them all kids, but guys moving to the twins class. So yeah, I just figured I'd get your insider input before I let you go on the AFT season. I know you don't follow it like crazy because you're super busy, but
More
when
like
we
I'm just cheap and I don't want to pay to watch.
yeah. Yeah, I'll
I
get
do
you
know
a
there's a singles rule change though, so that could help for the miles, hopefully for the privateers, right?
what is the change?
There's no, I don't know what the rule specifically says, but basically no electronic assist in the airbox.
Oh wow.
Basically, people were using fans inside to pressure charge the intake boot. If I'm just introducing this to somebody, well, yeah,
We've come a
sorry.
we've come a long way since the days of Weerbach building a bike, winning titles, right? I mean,
That thing was stolen. Michael Toon's bike. You know that's why he quit.
did he build Toon's bike too? I thought
Oh, I guess I don't know, but
I don't know who built
Toon's.
it.
Remember
His bike
Michael
was
Toon?
fast too. Yeah, dude, I think he had a
Yeah,
Woody Kyle bike maybe. I don't remember,
his
but
bikes were stolen. That's why he quit. Supposedly,
how about Caleb Russell, dude? 17 bikes stolen of his.
they they got him back.
All of them?
I believe so. I just read an article yesterday. I literally just showed Red the
My
people
mom
that
sent me
got
an
caught.
article, but the one I read, it just said they found out who stole them. That didn't say he got them all back. I hope
Yeah,
he gets them back.
he got a majority of them back because I've been actually kind of following it. But he DNF'd yesterday because I watched the GNCC race live for 3 hours straight. So
You still ride
that
in the
was
woods
my
at all or no?
not. I haven't in Wisconsin yet. I'd
Remember
like
you
to
took me to
do.
ride in Florida
Sorry.
and I smacked the tree and broke my radiator.
Yep.
I
Yeah, I
hated
still
it.
love it. I wish I did it
Oh,
more, but yeah, I
I
try to I try to limit my risk levels nowadays. So I don't even really ride moto or anything. I just kind of did the local flat track stuff, and then ice riding is pretty safe. So
yeah.
I try to be careful. I'm getting old.
Yeah. 2 days 2 days younger than me.
2 days younger. Yep. I'll let you know how I feel on Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell you it's not great. Oh man. All right. Well, I'll let you go. I know you got a flight. You're headed Houston, right?
Yep. Yeah, Houston, Texas this week, and then I have 2 weekends off or 2 weeks off because I didn't know if I'm going to Daytona. So I literally didn't book travel that week, even though I was supposed to be. So right now I have it open. So I might be there, I might not. We don't know yet.
Well,
And it's not like
hopefully,
I'm like keeping a secret. I literally don't know. As
yeah.
funny as that sounds. So
Who do we have
I
to,
literally don't
what's
know.
how do you know? Like what's keeping this from being you s- you s- they asked you, you told them what it would take and then you're waiting?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yep. Just waiting on the fun. I mean, it's all about money, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, whoever, I mean, I think yeah, you were fast on that bike, man, and you already have time on it. So I think if somebody's looking to win the chip, it'd be cool. Is Bromley running? Is he racing it? Who's all riding that class
I
this year?
No idea. I would have to assume. I will say, someone from AFT reached out and asked me if I was racing. But I told them that, and then it was just this past week. I told them the same answer, and like I said, I'm not. Most people like would be secretive about it. I'm not being secretive. I just don't know, literally know. I will say I don't think I can do if I do Daytona. I don't think I can do the entire championship, but there's some
Unless you
other
win.
stuff going on, so I
Unless you
still don't
win.
think I can.
Really?
I don't think I'm going to be able. So at Sturgis last year, I worked technically and raced, and I don't
Oh,
think that that's
Sturgis. Yeah.
yeah. So I think
They should
I
let
think
the
I'm going to be
bike get the points.
yeah.
So then, like,
You could race it.
I'll ride it at Chico. That'd be a track I think I'd be all right at. So, yeah, and then you'll hop back on,
There we go. Team
and then
effort.
then I can.
Yeah,
I don't have to do Peoria or Sturgis.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. Unfortunately, Sturgis is the one where I'm probably going to have to work. So,
we'll. It's a Harley, right? If you ride, we'll
yeah.
put
Well,
Briar.
yeah,
We'll put
that's
Briar on it at Sturgis. We'll let him double up.
could we put Briar on it at all the rounds and I just get the points and the money? Because I'm way more in for that.
Dude, he was close to kind of doing it last year. Not close, but he like it was on his radar. He said, "Man, I should do it." And then I think they cut the purse quite a bit from the first year, so then he was kind of
Yeah.
out. But
I
yeah,
definitely did not want Briar doing it.
no, yeah, yeah, he'd be. There's some guys that would hop on those things that would be pretty fast. Just would fit their kind of
Him.
ability.
He's
Yeah,
good at everything.
And Bromley too, man. Like he's good on that kind of stuff. Like goofy, weird setup. He's smooth. He gets good starts. His racecraft's good. He's crafty. Like he fits the adventure tracker mold very well.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. At least, yeah. It was, yeah. Last year
I
was
think I'm
fun.
too short,
But
bro. I
yeah.
don't know. Like watching some of the shorter guys ride it, like Chad. He looked really goofy on it. That's a big bike.
Yeah.
I don't
They're
even think I
tall
could
too.
touch on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be a touch. But they're
Cut
tall.
seat. Just give me a cut seat. Cut seat and AFAMs. Be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Full blown AFAMs. That'd be perfect. Silver ones.
Yep. Oh man.
Perfect.
All right, Jesse. We'll let you roll, dude. It's always good catching up with you, man. We miss seeing you. Miss seeing you. And the fans miss seeing you in the sport, dude. It's good to hear you'll probably be back this year. That'll be exciting. You're always a front runner whenever you show up. So yeah, and thanks for all the insight and everything else, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see you in Daytona.
Yeah. Like I said, I might just book a flight down and come and hang out. So I'm just kind of waiting to figure out what's going on first. So if I'm not racing, then I'm going to make a decision on coming down or not. So we'll see.
Cool. All right. Later, bro.